So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the webinar Reduce Costs, Increase Efficiency What Fizen Technologies Managed Services Can Do for You. My name is Julia Concolino, and I serve as the Director of Marketing for Fizen Technology. Fizen Technology is dedicated to helping businesses like yours improve operations and reduce expenses through our managed IT services. During this presentation, our speakers will explain the way our tailored solutions can optimize your systems, free up your staff, and streamline processes, all while lowering your overhead costs. You'll learn about our full suite of services, including managed cloud, help desk support, cybersecurity, and more. Our speakers will share real-world examples of how we've helped companies cut costs, work more efficiently, and position themselves for growth. You'll also have a chance to get your pressing questions answered during the Q&A segment. Our goal today is to show you how partnering with Fizen Technology can transform your organization. Our team of experts is ready to customize any approach that meets your unique needs and budgets. I'm joined today by Ikwa, the CEO of Fizen Technology, and Matthew, our customer support delivery leader. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin, we'll go over our agenda of what we'll cover. First, we have a testimonial that is going to be given by one of our current clients, Vincent House. Next, we'll go over the challenges of managing your own IT, how COVID has changed IT, advantages of outsourcing IT, how we can help, our approach to managed IT, benefits of partnering with Fizen Technology, and then, of course, the Q&A portion. All right. So, Karis, I will give you the floor if you'd like to share a little bit about your experience working with Fizen Technology.
Thank you. So my name is Karis Kaiser, and I am the Executive Director at Vincent House. We have partnered with Fizen for several years, many years. They were partners before I actually got here. And with Fizen, they work with us on our servers, workstations, laptops, software, security, our phones, as well as providing IT service, when we have an issue with an email or something like that. Their response time is generally within a few minutes of the request. And the issue is almost always resolved within the hour, unless it's a hardware issue that they don't have their hands on immediately. Then obviously the issue is corrected or fixed when the piece of hardware is available. And so, for example, we had our server went down at our location in Pinellas Park. This happened like right before Christmas, and we had to order a new server through Dell, and that was going to take over a week. And I think that it happened on a Wednesday. The Fizen team members had placed the order for the new server immediately. And that Monday, the server wound up in Sarasota, which is about an hour and a half south of our Pinellas Park location. And a Fizen team member actually drove down to get it, rather than waiting for it to be delivered fully up to Pinellas. And brought it up and then installed it that day. And so instead of waiting a week, we really only lost about 2.5 business days. And the fact that they would go out of their way to do that for us and work with us in that way, that's just huge for us. As I know for probably many of you on this call, when your system's down, you're down, right? And you're not billing. And you're not, there's no revenue. So that was just huge for us. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share that. I also wanted to share, for any of you who are out there, we work in mental health, and HIPAA and protection of personal information is extremely important. And our funding depends on it. And so I mentioned that Fizen was here prior to me coming on. I've been with Vincent House for about 1.5 years. One of the things that was important for us to do was to update our HIPAA data security policy. and to actually do what we said our HIPAA data security policy said that we did. And so I worked really closely with several Fizen team members. We had conference calls, and other, sharing the document back and forth, and they were able to provide. I was relieved to know that we actually were in compliance, with the exception of encryption, and so they were able to provide us an affordable solution for our encryption messages that were passed between servers. And it was wonderful. And I presented the policy to our two main funders, and they were impressed with the policies and asked who helped us with them. So I just want to say out there that they're just so much more than just an IT company. They have saved us money. They have helped us remain compliant. And, we look forward to working with them for years to come. So
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. Yeah, thank you, Karis. That was really a wonderful testimony, and we really appreciate the relationship that we have with you as well. So thank you so much for giving your testimonial.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next portion of our presentation, we're going to move into how COVID has changed IT to kind of give a little bit of background into how our services can help.
Yeah, and I'll take that, Julia. So it was really interesting whenever COVID happened, as I'm sure it was for everyone else, but especially in our field, is we had all of our clients going from having a headquarters or home base to working from home. While some of them have returned to their offices at this point, a lot of them have remained remote or hybrid. So that was kind of interesting for us in helping them do that shift to where people can work from home, which that leads to a lot of these other bullet points that we're going to touch as far as the digital transformation and moving to cloud services. Without everyone either having a VPN or remoting into their computers in the office, they needed access to the files that they used to have access to. And the easiest way to do that is to put them all in a cloud file system, be it OneDrive or Google Drive, or the one that we like to promote is called Ignite. That really helped them in that instance. So people had all their files in an online place where they could all access them without needing additional resources for it. What also spiked during COVID, what seemed like, was phishing attacks and spam attacks and those kind of things, and they're getting ever more prevalent, and they're getting really good at copying other businesses and making them look like legit emails. So we have stepped in to help with some phishing solutions, and more than anything, cybersecurity training, because there is no silver bullet as far as keeping away phishing attacks is concerned. Really, the best line of defense is just an educated end user who can realize that this is kind of a fishy email, and that's not coming from the person it says it's coming from, is really the best defense for that. So yeah, we started implementing some cybersecurity training that I think has really helped some of our clients. There was a rise in demand just for IT because they had all these people in away from each other. I guess before you were next to each other, you could ask other people for help, and now you weren't. You were alone in your home. So we were able to help a bunch of our clients in that instance, where they could come to us and ask for assistance if need be, especially lower level help desk problems. The emphasis on collaboration tools was another interesting part of it. Going to what I said before about not being in an office, now you need to have meetings over Zoom. Zoom exploded, Teams exploded, and these other messaging tools developed ways that people could collaborate that way, as well as the cloud services, which is really interesting, that you can co-edit together now, be it in OneDrive or the one we like, Ignite. You can co-edit and work on a document together at the same time. And then, yeah, Karis touched on it a little bit. We started helping more and more people with their compliance and data security, be it more than anything, implementing multi-factor authentication in different ways for the different vendors that our clients were using. So we were able to make sure that second line of defense after a password was in place.
Thank you, Matt. It sounds like, a lot has changed, especially since COVID hit, but now these things are kind of becoming the norm. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about challenges of managing your own IT. So those might come from the challenges COVID had, but also just in general, with a large enterprise.
Yeah, absolutely. So over time, obviously, as the technology gets more advanced, bad actors are going to continually try to figure out ways to get around your networks and your safeguards. And so it definitely requires a team to really stay apprised of the latest breakthroughs. And what we've sadly seen now is that bad actors are using artificial intelligence to create artificial voices that sound like the company boss, that could make a phone call and ask for different funds to be transferred. And if someone doesn't stop and ask questions or verify, it could be a very costly data breach. And IBM says that the average data breach costs businesses over $8 million. And so it's a very lucrative for bad actors to keep trying what they can to get around your safeguards and try to make money off of it. And so with that ever evolving landscape, it definitely takes a team of professionals that are devoted to staying apprised of the newest the newest tactics out there that are being used. In-house expertise is good. A lot of companies have a dedicated IT manager, or they might even have a team of managers. And usually what happens is you tend to get siloed in seeing the specific attacks that you're used to. You don't really see, anything else unless you encounter it the first time. And the benefit of having a team like Fizen is that we have several different clients across the spectrum. And so we're able to see different incidents that occur that may affect one client. And then we could turn around and inform all the rest of our clients about what's going on. We recently had an issue with a vulnerability in Microsoft 365, and one of our senior engineers was able to identify this loophole and then send that message out to all of our clients. And so it's something that where you can leverage the knowledge base of a specific team that's in place. Also, making sure that your technology is up to date is very important. We work with clients all the time that have outdated servers, outdated laptops, and once this hardware becomes out of date, it becomes more vulnerable to security breaches. And so we help our clients track when it's time to sunset different pieces of hardware, and we assist in procuring new equipment, just to make sure that you're always guarded against those vulnerabilities. Karis kind of touched upon security and compliance risks. We, among advising on compliance and HIPAA compliance and other rules that are established by the SEC for some of our clients in the financial industry. We also help connect our clients with firms that do audits. And we recently had another firm of ours that we work with that was really trying to access Hartford data, and they needed to meet certain requirements before they'd be able to get access to that. And so we're able to help connect them to do the audit. And then we also had a number of other recommendations that they enact in order to be able to meet that level of compliance. And then lastly, the cost benefit is almost unquestionable. When you consider that an IT manager whose annual salary would be near $90,000, or an IT technician in-house could be about between $40,000 and $50,000. With our services as a managed service provider, we strive to keep the cost anywhere between $125 to $150 per user per month. And so, leveraging remote monitoring and maintenance, we can offer that constant security and give you a heads up on anything that we happen to notice or that our systems detect, without having to have somebody dedicated in-house. That's certainly going to be a much more expensive option. So one other anecdote I'll share is I was speaking with a prospective client weeks ago, and the reason that they were looking to find another IT provider is because they were in a current agreement where their IT provider was taking a percentage of their revenue. And as the company continued to scale and become more profitable, they had to pay a bigger share to their IT provider. And so it was obviously a situation they didn't want to be in, because they had to pay more money for these services, and the provider didn't have to, have a faster response time. They didn't have to be more thorough in their work. They didn't have to add any more staff. And so using a managed services provider can help you keep costs very minimal while getting a premium level of dedicated service.
Thanks, Equa, for providing that perspective. One more thing I wanted to add, touching on the security and compliance risks, and with certain clients of ours, they do have HIPAA compliance that they need to stay compliant with. And we have taken, certain measures to educate ourselves in those areas. So we completed a course just to educate ourselves in HIPAA. That's something that we felt was really important because so many of our clients work in this space. So if there's ever an area where there are certain compliance rules, we are more than willing to educate ourselves and our employees to ensure that they are well equipped to work in that space. That's something that we pride ourselves in. Okay. Next slide, some of the advantages of outsourcing our IT. And again, some of these may be things that we've touched on previously, but we really wanted to stress some of the advantages of outsourcing through a company like Fizen Technology.
Equa, you want to take that one?
Sure, I'll take this one. So as I mentioned before, access to specialized expertise is something that comes with with what you get. Each of our engineers are constantly receive certifications and credentials that keep them apprised of the most recent changes in the landscape, the newest technology, and allow us to keep our response times very, very low. The cost savings is something that I had mentioned before. It's almost a no-brainer when you consider the expense of having an in-house person when compared to having it outsourced wholesale. Now, there are some, we do have some clients that do have an in-house team, and we work with that in-house team on certain projects. So we call that a co-managed agreement. And so there are certain specific areas that the in-house team covers. And then if it's things like provisioning laptops or other workstations, then we take care of some of those tasks. We have a 24/7, 365 help desk that Matt runs. And that allows you the ability to send an email to our support address. It creates a ticket that gets one of our engineers to respond to it, or you can call our hotline, and then that also dispatches an engineer to your request. This also is available for nights and weekends, and so you can rest assured that you have constant access, whether you be working overtime and something happens with your computer, you need to get some assistance, you just go ahead and call in that line. You don't have to worry about just availability during office hours. And so it really just allows us to focus on your technology, and you just worry about your core business objectives. You just worry about growing your business and allow us to stay apprised of all the latest occurrences going on in the security landscape. And so we have a couple of, you've heard from Vincent House, Karis, who's been a longtime client of ours. We also have a law firm here in the Tampa Bay area that they had a lot of prior issues in terms of their response time with the IT personnel that they had, and one of the reasons for switching over to us was that they just needed somebody that can reduce their response times. When you have when you have downtime, you're not able to make money, your company's not being able to be profitable, and you have a backlog that then ensues. And so ensuring that you have that all of your employees have access to their files, that the technology is running, that there's that requests and issues are quickly responded to is our number one priority. So it's something that we really pride ourselves on, in taking good care of our clients and making sure that you continue to grow your businesses while we ensure that you're safe and secure.
Thanks so much, Iqua. And another thing that we definitely will be touching on later is that whatever technologies your company is currently using, we're not going to force any new technologies upon you if you want to stick to certain programs or softwares that you're already using. And so we really pride ourselves in the fact that we can adapt to different technologies. And maybe if it's something we haven't used before, we train up on it to make sure that we're able to help you the best that we can with those new tools as well. Great. And now moving into how Fizen technology can help.
Yeah, I'll take this. So yeah, we have expert IT professionals. Equal mentioned how if you have your own IT guy at your office, he may be in a bit of a silo or a tunnel himself as to what he focuses on. The benefit that we can help with is that we have multiple technicians here, and we each have our own experiences, our own level of experience, and it's a big pool of knowledge that can be drawn from whenever a problem is presented. As far as proactive monitoring, we use tools such as the RMM tool we use to connect to people's computers called Ninja, and that also helps us push updates or software if we need to. And we use WithSecure at the moment. I say at the moment because kind of going along with the next bullet point, we have our feelers out there, but we use WithSecure as an anti-malware program, and we're looking to maybe there's something better out there as we try to do to always improve and make sure our clients are up to date and as secure as possible. So those are some of our reporting tools and monitoring tools that help us keep our clients safe.
Thanks so much, Matt. I would love to hear a little bit about Fizen's approach to managed IT, kind of how they handle different situations. I know Equa touched on co-managed IT departments as well. So I'd love to hear a little bit about the approach that Fizen takes in order to provide IT services.
It's an open approach, I think you could say, because yeah, none of our clients have the same plan in place, really. I mean, there may be a few, but yeah, we have some clients who they aren't even in Tampa where we are located. Their headquarters is off somewhere else, but they have employees all over the world, and we are here to help in specific situations, be it to set up their computers or just to help with level 1 help desk support. We have clients here in Tampa Bay who they have an office, but they also have workers at home. So the approach is very open. I talked about COVID earlier, and just kind of going into that, we have really become an extension of our clients' HR departments. I've noticed over the past few years where we are helping a lot with onboarding and offboarding. And if you can hear the phone ringing, also helping with phone calls and help desk calls for anybody who may need it. Our monitoring, I mentioned a little bit that we have monitoring tools, Ninja and WithSecure to help with anti-malware. We can access people's computers if they need it, and hop right on in an instant with good response times to be able to help quickly so that they can get back to work. And yeah, both those programs, Ninja and WithSecure, have good reports that we can send out monthly. Ninja, some people like to know what computers have our software on them, or they don't know exactly what computers their users are using. And those reports help to teach them or show them what equipment they have. There's also the cybersecurity training report that I mentioned earlier. It tells whoever wants to receive it, usually our primary contact with the client, who is taking the training and who isn't, and they can follow up with them and make sure that they take the classes that they're supposed to so that they are educated on what they need to be.
Wonderful. Thanks, Matt. Now moving into our next slide, some of the benefits of partnering with us.
Yeah, so I touched on this a little bit before, but just really being able to ramp up productivity, not really have to worry about downtime. Karis mentioned the situation with some of the hardware where that she needed. And typically, when you order hardware, that can take some time before you get it in. But once we have it, that we typically handle that installation very, very quickly. You also have, the ability to really predict what your budget's going to be. So you have, from the figure of, like I said, about $125 to $150 per user per month, you can do the math from there. How many users do you have? How many workstations? And then you could just multiply it. And so it's really nice to be able to project what expenses that you're going to have at the beginning of a new year. You can take all that into account. Also, as we keep you apprised on how your technology is aging. If it could be time to get some new laptops every 4 to 5 years. We could also take a look at any physical servers that you may have on site and give you those projected estimates for hardware as well. So really, ultimately, our goal again is just to focus on your technology, to remove the burden and the worry of that technology, and wondering if you're staying apprised on the latest happenings in the field, so that you can just focus on your core operations, your business health, your business growth, your customers, and then allow us to just go ahead and manage your technology for you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Equa. Well, that concludes our presentation. So now to move into the Q&A portion, we did receive a few questions throughout the presentation. So if you have any additional questions, you can send them in now. So one of the questions that we received, what managed services do we offer besides network system monitoring and management? Matt, did you want to take that one?
So what other services do we offer besides, I think help desk was that one that you threw in there. We have a help desk. That's what I manage, where users can call in and receive help or send emails. Yes, we do monitor help with people's networks. If it goes down, we can help with that and just monitor it. We help in any way that we can. Well, we can try to help in any way. I guess I should say. We talked a little bit about how clients have vendors that they come to us and they're already using somebody. We can step in as a vendor management team and just help be the contact, be the middle person to work with those vendors instead of your IT people having to do it. That's one of the biggest ways I guess added onto that would be vendor management.
Yeah. Matt also mentioned before that we do offer security awareness training. And so it is a routine course that's very quick, that most of them are anywhere, less than 10 minutes. And they really just keep your team apprised of ransomware, what it is, how bad actors try to use it, malware, phishing attacks, how they're common email faux pas to make when you receive an external email from your organization. If you're clicking on links or opening attachments in that's how these bad actors gain access to your systems. And so the security awareness training is designed to be routine, to keep everybody apprised on how best to avoid putting the company in those scenarios that can be so costly to an organization. That awareness training is incredibly important. We also have spam filter that really allows you to encrypt emails that you may need encrypted, or at least quarantine questionable emails before they're able to go through. And so
maybe we lost
still,
Equa. Yeah.
I think you can still hear me, but you just can't see me, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, not sure exactly what happened there. Okay, there I go. Okay. So with the spam filter, it really just tries to take a lot of the guesswork out of the emails that have been flagged as bad, then kind of send those over before they ever come into your email. It's another service that we offer. We could do everything from cloud services where it comes to documents. So there's a file sharing service that allows you to store files on your computer or in the cloud, and then those can then be visible to any other user within the organization. So it's a service called Ignite, but allows you to kind of have one one cloud service for all of your documents. And so there's a multitude of different services that we offer. If it has to do with your technology, your infrastructure, it's a service that we offer. Dark web monitoring, for another example, is something that we do. If there was a data breach, or if your identity has been stolen, or any employees within your organization, we can do searches on the dark web to see if that information is being circulated by bad actors. So there's a lot of a lot of services out there, but we do it all, and we're kind of the one-stop shop. Or again, we can combine with your existing IT team and divide up the tasks of monitoring and managing your network.
Great. Thank you both for that thorough response. I think we have time for just a couple more questions here. Another question I'm seeing is, what qualifications or certifications do your current technicians have?
The one that I'm aware of that we all have is A+. And then from there, it's different among each technician, but there's Security Plus and other networking certifications. But that is something that is nice about Fizen. They do urge us to get certifications and help us receive training to receive any certifications we may be interested in. But at a base level, we all have the A+ certification from CompTIA.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And then the final question that I think might be common among anyone who's looking to find an outsourced IT provider is, do we utilize your tools and software in conjunction with your agreement, or are we able to use our tools we have in place? I think this answer was answered throughout the presentation, so this question might have come in a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we can. We have multiple clients who they already have, for example, anti-malware or antivirus program they like to use, or they have their own remote connection software that they like to use. And yeah, we work with them. We just ask for access to it so that we can help manage it. But yeah, that's totally fine.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Well, that concludes our Q&A portion. And if you have any additional questions, you are more than welcome to contact us. Here are some contact information details. You can call our office at any time at this phone number here. You can also email us at this email address. These are just some of the activities that you would see from our IT team on a daily basis, weekly basis, and then a monthly basis. And then here's just some details about Fizen Technology. We were founded in 2015, so we have been around for a little bit more than 8 years now, going on 9. So we're still new, but we have a lot of rich history within the organization, and a lot of long-term goals that we're looking to reach. And here are some of the sources that were referenced throughout this presentation as well, if you're looking to research more. We do have many articles posted on our website as well, so you're more than welcome to take a deep dive in and learn about some of the different offerings that we've mentioned. Great. Well, that concludes our presentation today. Thank you so much to everyone who was able to join us. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation. And like I said, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out. Feel free to share this presentation with friends once we distribute it. And we look forward to our next presentation with you all. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.